$1.1 million, again, to complete the project during the coming fiscal year. The alternate base period was legislatively mandated. It allows claimants, certain UI claimants, to qualify for UI benefits that might not ordinarily qualify for benefits because their wages are outside, are not currently in the base period that are used for calculating UI benefits. Again, we submitted a special project report in January. It was approved in March, and again, this project is tracking according to the budget and the schedule that were documented in that report. This is scheduled to be implemented in April of 2012.
Are there any comments from the Department of Finance or LAO?
Nona Martinez, Department of Finance. We'd note that there's trailer bill language that's also associated with this issue in order to change the implementation date to the April date.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Any comments from the audience? Questions of staff? Second, can we take roll?
Buchanan?
Aye.
Allen? Aye. Dickinson? Aye. Logue? Wagner?
No. Now we'll move to issue 3, the implementation for the alternate base period. And the staff recommendation on this is to approve the May revised proposal and related trailer bill language.
Bud Bridger with the EDD. This proposal requests $48 million in federal incentive funds to fund 3 years of this program. It also proposes to redirect $5.3 million of UI-based grant funds for the initial year of implementation, and it's request 165 positions.
So where do I have that? Any comments from the LA or the Department of Finance?
Yes.
So what?
Todd Bland with the Analyst's Office. As Mr. Bridger indicated, this is an issue of how to use federal incentive funds that will come from the implementation. Actually, the certification the state will implement the alternative base period. Recently, some federal information has come to light suggesting that there may be some budget risk, and we're suggesting that in adopting today's trailer bill, you adopt it as placeholder to give the legislature and the governor a little more flexibility with respect to potentially use this money to mitigate that risk.
Okay. Are there any comments from the public? So the
Nona Martinez, Department of Finance. We continue to support the implementation of the $48 million in order to support the administration of the ABP program. The balance of the incentive funds are to go towards paying down the federal loan. We would recommend that you adopt the trailer bill language as submitted, and to the extent that federal issues do arise, that we could reopen this issue in the future to deal with it, or to adopt additional trailer bill language separate from the $48 million that would allow Department of Finance the flexibility to use the balance of the incentive funds should other federal issues arise.
If I may, I would just urge again that you do it as placeholder, and that there is a narrow window we're operating under here, under which we can receive the federal funds flexibly after a certain time period, which I can go into a long story about the UI loan. Trust me, it's a narrow window, and I would urge you to do it as placeholder, and we can work out these issues with the administration.
It is a narrow window.
So it's not clear to me, is the administration then comfortable with having trailer placeholder language for the budget trailer bill? This is all obviously going to have to be resolved within the next couple of
We're
weeks.
okay with placeholder language, but we would like to have the flexibility for the Department of Finance to deal with those funds should the federal issues arise.
Okay.
And we can work with the administration that way. It's all about making sure we have the right flexibility going forward.
Okay. So the current recommendation, I'm trying to get this clear because this is the first I'm hearing, to approve the May revised proposal and related trailer bill language. You still have to develop the trailer bill language, correct?
We would just suggest you modify the language to say approve the May revised proposal and related trailer bill as placeholder trailer, and a related administration trailer bill as placeholder. That would be the LAO suggestion.
Can we say in related placeholder trailer bill, related trailer bill language and placeholder trailer bill language, what?
That probably works, or I would say as placeholder,
And placeholder.
as a placeholder.
So the recommendation would be that we approve the May revised proposal and placeholder trailer bill language. Would someone like to make that motion? Second. Any comments? Could we take the roll, please?
Buchanan.
Aye.
Allen. Dickinson. Logue. Wagner.
Okay, now we're going to move to the fourth issue, the WA 15% expenditure plan, and staff recommendation on this is to approve the revised provisional language that requests Department of Finance and EDD to submit a revised WA 15% expenditure plan to the legislature by September 1, 2011. Okay, are there any comments, or everyone's okay with this? Are there any comments from the public? Are there any questions from members? We have a motion then to approve the recommendation. So moved. Is there? Okay, we have actually Mr. Wagner made the motion. We'll take the second from Mr. Dickinson, and we will call roll. Thank you very much.
Buchanan.
Aye.
Allen. Dickinson. Logue. Wagner.
Okay, now we have actually some good news with the unemployment insurance federal interest payment. It's a technical adjustment that I think saves us money. So, and the staff recommendation on this is to approve the technical adjustment to the unemployment insurance federal interest payment in the 2011-12 budget. Finance, LAO are in our agreement. There's no public comment. Is there a second? Okay, can we take roll, please?
Buchanan.
Aye.
Allen. Dickinson. Logue. Wagner.
All righty, we're down to the last page. We're moving to items 5116, 7100, the Department of Rehabilitation and Employment Development Department. The first issue is the transfer of the Committee on Employment of Persons with Disability to the Department of Rehabilitation. And the staff recommendation in this is to approve the transfer of the Governor's Commission on Employment of People with Disabilities to the Department of Rehabilitation, adopt the proposed trailer bill language as modified to retain the Senate Rules Committee and Speaker of the Assembly Appointment Authority.
Marisa Duke with the Labor and Workforce Development Agency. We worked with the Health and Human Services Agency to determine what the transfer over to rehab, and we intend to provide, do an interagency agreement to make sure that the funding's adequate.
Great, thank you. Any comments from the LAO Department of Finance? No comments from the audience? Any questions by members? If not, is there a motion? Second? We take the roll.
Buchanan.
Aye.
Allen. Dickinson. Logue. Wagner.
Okay, we're going to move next to the issue 2, reduce the Labor and Workforce Development Agency budget.
Okay, Marisa Duke with the Labor and Workforce Development Agency. We're undertaking a review of the organization of the Labor and Workforce Development Agency along with its departments. And our first part was to look at the Labor and Workforce Development Agency and move functions back to departments and reduce the budget of the Labor and Workforce Development Agency by $677,000 and staffing down to 12.
Thank you. Are there any comments from the LA or the Department of Finance? Any public comment? Any questions? Is there a second?
May I get a clarification which item we're on?
Yeah,
I might have heard it wrong. Are we on
Sorry.
issue 1 or 2?
We're on issue 2, reduce the Labor and Workforce Development Agency budget.
You may need to go back
Skip
and do.
economic
do item one?
strategy panel.
We just
I think you need to go back
just
to
did
1.
Item 1 was the last one where there's a motion to approve the staff recommendation.
Okay, there's 2 item 1s. I think
You
we
voted
missed
no. Would you like-
economic strategy.
We can go back to economic strategy panel if you like. Economic Strategy Panel was transferred to the Labor and Workforce Development upon the abolishment of the Trade and Commerce Agency back in 2004. The proposal is to eliminate the Economic Strategy Panel, reduce staffing in the Labor and Workforce Development Agency, as well as the Department of Industrial Relations.
I checked the wrong box. So, issue 1 is to eliminate the Economic Strategy Panel, which you just
Right, along with the staffing.
described. Any comments from the LAO, the Department of Finance? The recommendation is to approve the elimination of related trailer bill language. There's no comments from the public. Are there any comments from members? Is there a motion to accept the staff recommendation? Second?
Second.
Okay, we take the roll.
Buchanan,
Aye.
Allen, Dickinson, Loeb, Wagner.
Aye.
All right, now I apologize because we moved to issue 2 first, and I believe you've already covered that.
Correct.
So the staff recommendation is to approve the May revised proposal. Is there any public comment on this? Okay, then.
We're back on issue 1 under 0559. Is that where we are?
Yeah, we just voted on that. We're on issue 2,
issue 2,
Labor and
okay.
Workforce Development Agency
Okay.
budget.
I thought I heard you say we were going back to 1. Okay.
No, we did go.
Okay, no problem.
I checked the wrong one on my
Yeah.
agenda. So is there a motion to approve the staff recommendation on issue 2? Second. Are there any comments from public? Any other comments from members? Can we take roll then?
Buchanan,
Aye.
Allen, Dickinson, Loeb, Wagner.
Aye.
And the next item is 73, issue 73, or item is 7350 from the Department of Industrial Relations, and it's the elimination of the Occupational Safety and Health Standards Board, and I have distributed a revised recommendation to the members here that would be to refer to policy committee process and do not adopt the May revision proposal. So, would you like to go ahead?
Yeah, Ralph Lightstone with the Labor and Workforce Development Agency supporting our proposal to eliminate the OSHA Standards Board. It's the third piece of our reducing state government action. You've already taken action on the previous 2 items. The safety and health standards in California are currently adopted through an APA procedure with full hearing rights, public participation, formal rulemaking, and OAL review. This eliminates an added layer, which is not common in other forms of rulemaking in the state, which is the OSHA Standards Board, converts the board to an advisory committee role, preserving the labor, management, and scientific expertise of that panel, and it becomes an advisory council to the director of OSHA, and they would then, as it is currently, the OSHA, the division develops the health standards, and the board staff develops the safety standards, and they go through this process. It's just removing an extra layer. There will be, under the proposal, there will be savings to the state and lots of opportunity for public input. So, and we have with us a special assistant to the director who has expertise on OSHA if you have any questions.
Thank you. Are there any comments from the Department of Finance or the LAO?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Brian Euler, LAO. We just note that this would, the modified action would create a conference issue.
Any other comments?
Department of Finance, we would continue to support the elimination of this program as one of the efficiencies in government.
All right. Are there any comments from the public? I guess we can turn the mic around here.
We support the critical nature of the OSHA Standards Board, and we urge you to retain it. The board has been successful in balanced rulemaking. We know of no public criticisms about the board's function and the rulemaking process. And the board's funding is solely from employers' assessments and from federal funds. There is no general fund money that goes to support the board. We would urge you to keep it. Thank you.
Jamie Kahn here on behalf of the Associated General Contractors. We would also support retaining the board. We believe that the board resolves a lot of issues that come before it that otherwise would lead to litigation. We feel that this particular body works very balanced, or has been very fair and balanced, and worked with both the laborers and the employers' interests. So we would support the recommendation to maintain the board.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Park Terry on behalf of the California Landscape Contractors Association. I have great admiration for Mr. Lightstone, but I think commissions and boards of this type guarantee and assure public input, guarantee a fair process. They're transparent. You don't have a single individual with the ultimate power to make all the decisions, and they provide a consistency of public policy that's very important to the regulated community. And for those reasons and others, we would concur in your recommendation to send this bill to Policy Committee. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Kevin Bland, representing the Western Steel Council, California Framing Contractors Association, and the Residential Contractors Association. We, too, would oppose the elimination of the Occupational Safety and Health Standards Board. We believe that it is a functioning board that provides an even playing field for labor and management, and has a very good track record, I think, with both in providing health and safety to the employees of the state of California. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there any other comments from the public? I would just like to add that in addition to having, I received a letter and met with a number of people, but it's not often that you have the Chamber of Commerce, insurance, general contractors, and I also, while they're not here today, had a number of labor groups that came in and talked to me. So it seems to me when you can get business and labor on the same page, all agreeing that a program is working, and it's working to improve safety, and it's working to resolve issues and hopefully avoid more litigation in our courts. I think that we need to listen to them, and that's why we presented the revised recommendation. Senator Logue.
Yeah, I'd like to also support the board. I think the board's necessary. It pays its own way. I think it's good and it's healthy for our economy. I think it's a win-win. This is one case where we definitely need to keep it. Thank you.
Any other comments? Would anyone like to move the revised recommendations? Is there a second? Would you, Mr. Senator Wagner?
Well, I've said before, and I've talked too much, and it's getting late. I mean, I object just sort of sending this all off to policy committees. We can do this here. I fully agree with all of you that we keep this thing. We see labor and business together. That is unprecedented and a very good sign. But I've fought that battle. I've lost it. I won't ask to change the recommendation, and I guess I'll support it.
I suppose what you're saying is you'd rather not eliminate it at all.
Not eliminate it at all, and not even bother sending it off to a policy
Well,
committee.
whether we don't eliminate it or send it to a policy, it's going to go to, I believe it's going to go to conference, but I think we're making it clear that we think there's value, and at a minimum, you need to take a further look at this before you eliminate it.
So, I'd like to make a motion not to eliminate it.
Well, we've got a motion and a second on the floor that we need to act on first.
Well, is that something that we could consider and withdraw that motion or not?
I mean, we can consider the motion. Whichever motion we make, it's going to go to conference committee because we have a different recommendation than the Senate. So, but for those commissions to date where we felt like we needed a further look, we've referred them to policy
I guess
committee.
what I'm saying is I don't think we need a further look, and I'm wondering if we could.
Well, we'd have to ask.
I just wonder if you'd withdraw it, and we would make a motion that we would not eliminate.
Well,
can we do that?
I think we can make either motion because it's going to go to policy committee. So if you want to withdraw your motion, okay.
I'll make a motion that we not eliminate the board.
But is there a second? All right. Can we take roll?
Buchanan.
Aye.
Allen. Dickinson. Loeb.
Aye.
Wagner.
And I think some of you in the audience have been here for the last item, and I just want to, first of all, thank you for your indulgence in sitting through this very long meeting, but we are doing all we can to ensure that we get a budget on time, and we have, obviously, we've had a number of issues to review. While everyone is adjusting, could we go through and add on to these votes while we're rearranging here? So, Member Logue, we're going ahead and add on this just to save a little bit of time. Why people? No, that's fine.
Consent calendar. Allen? The chair? Aye. Logue? The treasurer item issue 1, the bond sales. Allen? It was an aye. The chair's vote was aye. Logue? For issue on housing and development, reducing state government, the chair voted aye. Allen? Logue? Wagner? For a DGS issue 1, healthcare, the chair voted aye. Allen? Logue? Control section 3.91, issue 1, the chair voted aye. Allen? Logue? CTA, issue 1, the chair voted aye. Allen? Logue? State Controller 840, the chair voted aye. Allen? Logue? Control section XX, the chair voted aye. Allen? Logue? Issue Del Norte, the chair voted aye. Allen? Logue? Tax and Revenues, issue 1, the chair voted aye. Allen? Dickinson? Logue? Issue 2, Easy Reform, the chair voted aye. Logue? Wagner? Issue 3, Jobs.
Wagner was not voting.
Oh, no. Thank you. Not voting. Issue 3, Jobs Credit, the chair voted aye. Logue? Issue 4, Capital Purchases. Logue? Controller issue 1. Logue? Controller issue. Logue? 0971 issue 1. Logue? SPB DPA. Logue? SPB JPA motion consolidate. Logue? COSM. Logue? Issue 3.60. Logue? 9800 bargaining. Dickinson, the chair voted aye. Logue? Control section 3.9 bargaining. Logue? EDD issue 1. Logue? EDD issue 2. Logue? And EDD issue 3. Issue 4. Logue? And then issue 5. Let me get to it. The UI federal loan. Logue? Transfers of CEPD. Logue? Elimination of ESP. Logue? And that's it.
Okay, now we're at the last issue, and I obviously have a mound of paperwork that I read through last night, so hopefully we want to give everyone time to speak, but hopefully everyone will be able to be as concise as possible in your comments. So the issue here is the proposed sale of surplus property.
Esteban Almanza, Chief Deputy Director, Department of General Services. Yes, before you have a proposal for Department of General Services to review and dispose of properties with no state programmatic use. I have with me Mr. Gary Link, our Director of Legislation, who will speak to the issue.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, members. Gary Link for Legislation for DGS. We're here today just to answer questions, to look at the proposal and make sure that DGS thoroughly vets this and goes through the proper procedures.
And Greg Rogers, Department of Finance. I'd also like to note the administration has not come out with any proposed legislation yet to sell this particular property, as DGS is still going through the real estate due diligence and the title kind of process on this particular property at Ramirez Canyon.
Any comments from the LAO? I know there are comments from the audience, so would you like to come up and?
All right. Thank you, Chair and members. Reed Addis on behalf of the Mountains Recreation and Conservation Authority. We operate many of the facilities and programs at this particular property that's at discussion today. We are very supportive of where we believe the analysis, your staff's analysis, is going. I think we were very surprised when we saw the May Revise material, and it seemed to express that this particular park is not meeting some programmatic need of the state. We just wanted to come today and provide some testimony to remind the committee and others that this property was in fact transferred to a state agency's mission, which is to provide public access and parklands. I would want to mention that the location of Ramirez Canyon is in a place where there is critical need for public access. So trying to go after this particular property creates all kinds of problems for the region if we try to take away this particular type of public access. The property not only is in the hands of a state agency that has a mission to provide open space and public access, but there are particular mission statements that come with the property that suggest that of course, that is